Alright, so here we are. We're about to get this salmon ready. Throw it on the grill today. I'm going to brine it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in some water, salt, a little bit of sugar, some garlic powder, and some pepper. I'm going to let it sit in that water in the fridge for about 3 hours. I want to get a good brine on it. So my brine's going to take like a 1/4 pound of salt. Now you don't have to get a scale to do that. If you'll just take a jar with a 1/2 cup of water in it, hot water, and then you just pour your salt in there until your water line comes up to 3/4. So now you can see the lines at 3/4 on the water. That means I've got a 1/4 pound of salt in there. This method works with any kind of salt. Table salt, kosher salt, doesn't matter. 1/2 cup of water, pour the salt in until the water gets to 3/4 of a cup. And that's enough salt for your brine. So I'm going to do it today in a cooler. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the mixture into the cooler. Get that salt all out of there. We're going to let that brine get set up. I've cut this salmon in half. I'm going to do half of it with like a brown sugar glaze. And I'm going to do the other one maybe like a lemon pepper, something like that. We're going to get it out there on the smoker. But I'm going to go ahead and put the other spices in there. Like I said, it's just garlic, sugar, some black pepper. If you want to know the exact measurements on it, hit the comment down below, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and throw some more water in here because we've got to have enough water in our cooler to cover our fish. Alright, so here we are. Back, I've got all the spices mixed up. Now what I did is I went over and added about a 1/2 gallon of water to that brine mixture. You want enough water in there to cover your meat. About a 1/2 gallon looked like it was going to do that for me. So here we go. We're going to take the salmon. I'm going to take the biggest piece first and put it in. We're going to go ahead and chunk this baby in there. Just going to go ahead and match this one up inside there with it. We'll just let them both kind of sit in there and do the thing. Alright, so we've got the salmon in there. What we're going to do now is throw it in the refrigerator for about 3 hours. Let that brine do its work. Alright, so I said about 3 hours on that salmon. That's the most I ever like to brine, salmon. So I checked on these at about 2 hours and they look like that they were ready to go. So what I did is I took them out of the brine, went ahead and ran them under cold water, washed them off real good. And the next step here is I'm going to take these pieces of salmon and I'm just going to lay them on a piece of white paper. You could lay them on paper sack, a brown paper sack. Piece of white paper works real good. What that's going to do is that's going to allow the skin to stick to that paper. And so then whenever you take them off, you don't have to worry about peeling out the skin. It's going to stick right to that paper. So we're going to go ahead and do that with the other one here. Alright, we got them both laid down there on the paper. Now then we're just going to let them dry. What you want to do is have those fish, it's going to kind of form like a pellicle on that fish. In my opinion, that helps it retain some moisture during the cook. Makes a little better fish, so we're going to let them dry in the fridge for about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. I'll kind of look at them and see what we're looking at. There should be like a white glaze kind of forming on top of the salmon. So that's kind of what you're looking for. So we've got that salmon inside. It's been resting out of the brine. It's got a nice pellicle forming on the skin. We've got some nice whiteness. That's what I want to see. getting the smoker kicked off out here. I'll set it up for about 225 on the temp. That's where I want to run at. We're looking for an internal temperature of like 140, you know. So once this baby gets rolling good, we'll throw this salmon on here and see what happens. We've got that salmon. It's got a nice pellicle forming on it. You know, you can see the whiteness forming on top of the skin. I let it rest in the fridge for about 2 hours, and then I did about 20 minutes with a fan on it to kind of help it really form the good pellicle. Now, like I said, I'm doing 2 different types today. So what I've got here is I've got the zest off a lemon. I've got the juice off the lemon. And so I'm going to go ahead and pour that in with the zest. And then I've also got some rosemary here. I've got a little bit of herb lemon pepper that I'm going to throw in there also. So we'll just go ahead and toss that inside here. You know, we'll go ahead and mix it up. And I don't know that this is how much I'm going to need. I just made enough, that way I can put it on the salmon. So, you know, I just want to kind of form a paste out of this, and then I'm going to take and throw it on this salmon right here. Alright, so we've got that kind of pasted up. You know, we've got a good form of stuff here, and that's what I'm going to use to put on the salmon. I'm going to just use the more solid material, and I'm going to take and just kind of rub that on the salmon. Alright, to me that looks like a good coating of the rub on there, so I'm not going to put any more on it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I've got some rosemary. I've got a little bit of lemon here. I'm going to just throw a couple sprigs of this rosemary on top here. I'm going to go ahead and throw the lemons on. Alright, so there we've got it. You know, that's the first variety that I'm doing. The next variety that I'm doing is going to be it's just going to be a salmon with some brown sugar on it. I'm not doing anything other than just throw it in the brine, and then I'm going to throw the brown sugar on here. I've got about 4 tablespoons of brown sugar on here. I don't think it's going to need all of that, you know, but I just wanted to make sure and cover it real well. So we're just going to go ahead and toss some of this brown sugar on here. It worked out just right. We've got a good glaze on our salmon. I think we've got a good lemon pepper, rosemary salmon. We're going to throw these on the grill and let them cook for about 30 minutes. You know, we're looking for an internal temperature of about 140. That's what I'm going for. Alright, so we've got the smoker cruising here at about 225 degrees, right where I want to be. So I'm going to go ahead and chunk these babies on there. We've got the lemon pepper, rosemary, salmon going on over here. And I'll put on the brown sugar salmon on this side. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit more brown sugar on top of that brown sugar salmon because it kind of absorbed some of that other brown sugar. It's helped to make it form a better glaze. So, you know, that's what we've got. Lemon pepper salmon, brown sugar salmon. This is what we're doing today. Salmon out here on the pellet smoker. So here we are. We got the salmon off the grill. 140 degrees. Right now we're doing the brown sugar glazed salmon. So I'm just going to take and just, you know, just kind of run my knife through there. Slice it off a little bit. And what helps with the way that I do it is I put that paper down there. It helps the skin stick to the paper. So you can just take and pull that salmon right off the skin, you know. That's a brown sugar glaze, and like I say, if you put that paper down there, the skin sticks to the paper, and so you can just pick the meat right off the skin. You know, there's no problem with getting the meat off there. This is lemon pepper salmon that we smoked up tonight. Same temp, you know, we were looking at 140 degrees. That's about where we pulled it off at. So we're just going to go ahead and take and cut down through here. So we've got to cut down through. Like I said, the same principle applies. I got that paper down there that helps the salmon skin stick to it, and it allows you just to pull that salmon right off. So there we got it. It looks real good. You know, it looks like something that's going to be good to eat. We got a few more things to go with it over here. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, punch the like button. This is what we're doing all the time. Grilling and smoking, smoking and grilling. Stuff you can do in your backyard. Smoked salmon.